A little bit about us. I'm going to go through this quick because it's not a sales pitch about our company. We want to talk about how to write grants. But just a little bit of background. We've written over 1,400 grants that have been funded, brought in $1.6 billion for our clients. Who we write grants for, we can go to the next slide. Funding, 5 years, wraparound services. This is a case study. This is our very first case study. And this is a case study from Parlor Unified School District, one of the poorest school districts in the nation, actually, which is up in the San Joaquin Valley. It's a California Department of Education, California Community Schools Partnership Grant. It was funded for $3,562,000, and it goes through here on this slide what the funding provided for. And we're going to have copies of these available, so you don't have to take pictures or notes or anything like that. We'll have plenty of these if you just email us. So this is our first case study. Second case study is Coachella Valley Unified. Again, one of the most impoverished areas of California. Very, very high free and reduced lunch count for a school district. Some of the highest in the 90 percentile and higher. And we were able to bring in almost $2 million, $1,914,000 for them in a 21st century community learning grant. And I'm going to step over here so I can see a little bit better. So this is our case study number 2. We can go ahead and go to the next slide. Azusa Unified, San Gabriel Valley, where I'm from. This is a case study for Azusa Unified School District. And you can see the grant award and health and wellness services, physical activity. This grant is called the Community Schools Partnership Program. And it is an extremely popular grant with K-12. School districts all over the state compete for this money. It's highly, highly competitive. I probably should have said at the beginning, all these grants we write are highly competitive. We're not going after grants that are low-hanging fruit. These are not the 5-page applications that you fill in the blanks and you get your money automatically. I get asked all the time, how many of these applications get funded? It's tough to answer that generally, but 30%, 20%. We've even seen some cases where federal and state agencies are awarding 10%. It's not their fault, it's just how highly competitive these applications are, because you have cities, school districts, counties, special districts, colleges, all over the country in the federal instances competing for this money. We can go to the next slide. This is Corona Norco Unified over in the IE, Inland Empire. School-based healthcare solutions network, school-based mental health implementation grant was funded for $5,500,000. Health resources and materials, evaluation and data collection, technology and infrastructure, goes through all the different things that $5,500,000 is going to fund. And again, highly competitive program, the school-based mental health implementation grant for Corona Norco. You can go to the next slide. Maywood, City of Maywood, right here in the LA Basin, great longtime client of California Consulting. We were able to land a $1.4 million grant for them for HSIP. This is a Caltrans grant, California Department of Transportation, $1.4 million, traffic signal signs, pavement markings, improving visibility, roadway design improvements. You can see some of the things that Maywood was able to use $1,418,000 for. We can go to the next one. Stockton, up in the San Joaquin County, in northern part of the Central Valley. This is a Caltrans grant, active transportation program. $4,390,000 was awarded in this grant. Grant funds are allocated to bolster their 8th Street, Houston Avenue project, bike ped, bicycle pedestrian connectivity, create a more pedestrian and cyclist-friendly environment. So, very important part of their community, and 4.4, almost exactly 4.4 million. Go to the next one. I'm going to go through these fast so we have time to have questions at the end. City of Carson, I'm sure you're all familiar with them. They're also a great longtime client of ours. We were able to land a $1 million USDA federal grant for them. The name of the grant is the Urban and Community Forestry Grant. And this one is rather unique. I was really proud. I mean, obviously we're proud of all these grants because they're tangible projects that are making a difference in communities, right? This one's really unique though. This grant was for urban and community forestries And you wouldn't think a city like Carson in metropolitan Los Angeles, can't get much more urban than Carson, right? More dense than Carson, could get an urban and community forestry grant, but they did. And the grant was for Carson to transform its urban landscape, enhance green spaces for years to come, also develop a citywide and neighborhood planting plan, set requirements for species diversity, facilitate the planting of thousands of large stature trees. Purpose of the USDA grant talks a little bit about that. So just one example of what can be done with trees in a very urban, dense, metropolitan section of Los Angeles County. We can go to the next graph.